My name is Courtney Steele. My student number is STE 101-656-71. The date is the 4th of December 2013, and it's currently 3 minutes to 12 at night. And this is my presentation of sports leadership and coaching. Assignment 1, what makes a good leader or coach? I have picked 4 roles: a teacher, manager, a trainer, and a role model. I will start with a teacher. A teacher is someone that gives instructions, basic, clear, and direct instructions. That could be within sport or as in education. They are supportive and understanding of problems that happen because they need the students to approach them with problems or they won't be able to learn or to teach. Therefore, to be approachable and supportive is very important for a role in a teacher. Not only that they are there to facilitate by guiding and directing their students' pathway to wherever they need to go, which could be in education and sport. And in sport, as a PE teacher, they'll be doing basic simple skills of sports that they'll need to learn at their age. And teachers will adapt at certain ages and levels of their ability. An example of a teacher in sport could be if a PE teacher was teaching a group of year 7 girls netball and they want to go into a game. The teacher will put them into teams and tell them the tactics and show them and let them how to play, let them play by themselves, but explaining and helping with the tactics, so then guiding and supporting them and making sure they take their own footsteps, because it's important for a teacher to let the student take their own footsteps while the teacher just guides them in the right way. Why do we need teachers? We need teachers because students need to be taught things. They get taught life skills and other skills and things by their parents and other factors around life, but teachers in like schools and colleges, not only that, teachers will need results from the government and from students' tests. Therefore, teachers need to teach the students so they learn something, and when they take exams, that the government gets results and the teachers show how good they are teaching. Next is a manager. Ready? Yeah. The description of a manager is that they are responsible, organised, and approachable, and they need to be responsible because a manager is a massive role in any team or in anything at all. And a manager is the top of the tree, so they need to make sure they are responsible, as in everything revolves around them, and if something goes wrong, it goes back to the manager. Therefore, they have a lot of stress and weight on them, so therefore they need to be responsible, and their ideas and their actions need to be responsible. They definitely need to be organised, very organised. Managers should be organised because they have so much paperwork and they have to overlook things, and to make sure that they are doing their job right and that everybody else is doing their job right, because the manager has loads of other people working for them. Not necessarily though, if you're in local, but more elite, they are more people behind them and they've got so many people to back them up, so they are in control of a lot of people. Elite managers are. So therefore they need to be organised and be organised for the team. So they would need to make sure that their team is being trained at certain times and the team's there and that they are at fixtures if they have fixtures. They would need to have a lot of knowledge. For non-elite, as long as they got the basic knowledge, it's all that's important because of their standards and how they are playing. Because they are, if they're playing local, if they're a dad, just being a manager of a Sunday team or a local team because they haven't got a professional manager because it's volunteering, then you would just have the basic knowledge and experience because he or she would probably doing it just because they enjoy it. Therefore, elite people will need to have a lot of knowledge because lots of people look up to them. So let's take, for example, the manager of Liverpool football team. They will need to have a lot of knowledge because they are so high up. They're very elite. Everybody looks up to them. There's loads of fans. Therefore, having knowledge and making sure he has knowledge to make sure Liverpool as a team doesn't look silly in front of the world or the nation because it's on TV as well. There's that pressure of making sure the right knowledge is going through, making sure all the players are getting the right nutrition, the right training, and making sure if they're injured themselves they're getting the right rehab. An example of a manager, as I said, let's take Liverpool manager. A manager will be picking the squad and making sure that they are at training, so they're managing their training as well, and they'll be deciding their tactics and explaining what they'll have to do to make sure that they are on the pitch correctly and making sure that the team is going to win, so the manager would do their best, his or her best to manage that team professionally to be a successful team. Why do we need a manager? We need a manager because a manager makes things efficient and effective in teams such as elite teams. Like you always see the manager on the sideline on telly, they get very good support or they get the press is all over them if they do something bad, if they have a bad judgment or decision they make on the pitch or anything else, the manager gets a good dig at. And the manager also makes things run smoothly, so such as a football game, the manager makes sure that everyone's doing things right. It's what a manager does. It's making sure that any game, any training, the team is running smoothly. Next is a trainer. A trainer must be very disciplined and have a good knowledge of what sort of training. They must put very supportive and understanding. They must be very understanding and supportive because being a trainee is very hard to be trained because a trainer is someone that is independent and they will have to make sure that trainee is fit and they got to keep to a high standard. That's what the whole point of a trainer, such as a personal trainer, as I'm talking about here. Because if I go for a personal trainer, if I need a personal trainer, it is very difficult to keep with that program. Therefore, that person is one-to-one on you, and they stay disciplined. They stay on that track, and they will work with you very strongly and very closely to make sure that you achieve that goal you would like to achieve. And they must be a good role model. I know it's the next one, but they must be a very good role model because if you are a personal trainer, and let's say if you were eating chocolate, crisps, sweets, but you were telling the trainee wasn't allowed to do that because they must lay off the fatty foods, because it's not good for you. It's not a very good role model, and they won't look up to you, and the trainees won't do what the trainer says. So, because you want to see them as a role model, so you must do what they do. If you told them not to eat crisps and chocolate, and then you're eating crisps and chocolate, It's not a very good role model, and it's not very good for the professional side either. Like I said, an example of a trainer could be a personal trainer, a personal fitness and trainer. This person will be doing all different activities with someone close, one individual at a time. And they, as an example, would be if Cheryl Cole wanted to be trained, so she will ask a personal trainer to train her, and they will work closely doing certain exercises to keep her fit, helping her with her nutrition, and what her physical activity is. Therefore, that personal trainer will be a very good role model. They will be understanding and supportive and all the things I just said, because that is their role of their job as a trainer, is to help them and guide them and help push them to achieve the individual's goal. Why do we need a trainer? A trainer also needs results. Therefore, the more results they get, the more business they get. The more business they get, the more money they get. So they need to keep on the train. Being a personal trainer is very hard to keep in the industry. Therefore, they need to get good results and keep business coming in. They also need to be a good role model. They are a good role model. That's why we need them, because people do use personal trainers. People use trainers in teams such as big elite teams. They have trainers as well, and people need to keep up with physical fitness. And not always going to the gym helps. A personal trainer, a trainer in the team could help. It's just another way to help and guide and support with physical activity. Lastly, a role model. I think that a role model is someone that is there to speak to when things are not going so well. They're supportive, and I feel that they're passionate. If in sports, a good role model, it means that I feel that they're passionate about a particular sport, or in a range of sports, so that their passion shows throughout. You can tell when someone's passionate about sport. I think a role model is someone that is encouraging and motivational. So they are always there by your side, encouraging you when things get tough. And lastly, that they are approachable. A good role model must be approachable, because how else can people talk to you? People look up to you and they would want to talk to you. Therefore, you'll be a good role model, and you need to be approachable. An example of this could be a captain. Normally, a coach or a teacher picks a captain that is a good role model. A captain is a good role model because they are supportive and encouraging their team, constantly motivating them even when things are tough. The captain could be talking to someone if they can see that someone's upset. Therefore, I think if a coach picks a captain, it's for a reason. Therefore, it is a good role model they are. Why do we need them? They help create good habits at a young age. Therefore, people will behave better, and they can see other people behaving and respectful. Therefore, they will be behaving and respectful. That's what the good habits are, and it's forcing very good behaviour. Everybody wants to be a role model. If you can get that into young people's heads, then when they grow up, they'll be a much better person than you see in this day and age. And that's why we need roles.